Hello everybody, welcome back. So today we're making some Canada Day Jello shots. And if you don't drink alcohol, you can make these non-alcoholic, that's totally fine. Also my dogs are barking in the background and that's not going to stop anytime soon, so we're just going to power through. But either way, these are strawberry and coconut flavored Jello shots, which I love. And the red and white stripe to go with Canada Day because I am Canadian, if you guys didn't know. So let's get started. So first things first, you need 2 packets of red Jello. I'm using strawberry, but I think cherry is also red, so that would work as well. So you want to pour those into a bowl. And then we're going to add some, that's powdery. We're going to add some extra gelatin as well to make sure that the gelatin sets a little bit firmer than traditional Jello does. And we're just going to give that a little whisk. And then we're going to measure out 1 cup of boiling water. And we are going to add that to the Jello mixture and mix until everything is nice and dissolved. Okay, so now I have 1 cup of Malibu, which is coconut rum. Yes, it's rum. You can use vodka if you prefer it to not have a flavor, or you can use tequila or anything that's basically clear that isn't going to affect the color of the Jello. I was debating using tequila, but I'm like, no, I want to save my tequilas. So just going to whisk that together, and we're going to set this aside, and we are going to make the white layer now. Okay, so now to make the white layer, you are going to need 1 cup of condensed milk. Open up 1 cup? No, sorry, 1 can. It's like that. It's so annoying to measure. But no, it's just 1 can. So we're gonna let it drain out. Have you guys ever tried coconut, oh my god, condensed milk on fresh strawberries? It tastes so good. So if I'm making a recipe and I have leftover condensed milk, I usually dip strawberries in it and eat it. Not the healthiest thing, but it tastes so good. Okay, and then we're going to add 1 cup of boiling water to the condensed milk. And this is just going to thin it out before we add all the gelatin and the rum. And you're going to whisk it slowly so that the hot water doesn't splash up and burn you at first. And then eventually it will start to thin out. There we go. Okay. Alright, so now in a separate bowl, we're going to combine 1/2 cup of either rum or vodka or whatever alcohol you are using. And we're going to sprinkle over 2 tablespoons of powdered gelatin on top. And then we're going to let it sit for about 2 to 3 minutes just for the gelatin to develop, and I'll see you guys when that happens. Okay, so this has been sitting for a little bit, and as you can see, it's firmed up and the gelatin has developed. So now we're going to pour in 1/2 cup of boiling water. I feel like it's not filming, but it is. Give that a slight whisk just so that the gelatin begins to melt. And then we're going to pour this into the condensed milk mixture. And stir everything together until there's no lumps of gelatin. That's what you want. So the reason why we're soaking the gelatin in the vodka, liquor, whatever you're using, and then dissolving it is that firstly, soaking the gelatin in a liquid before adding it to your main liquid is going to have the gelatin develop, and it starts to blooms foams, I think is the right term, and it softens, and then when you basically like dissolve it or melt it with the hot water, it liquefies, and so you're not stuck with any little bitty gelatin bits, and it completely dissolves, so you're not left with it being like bitty or any like kind of texture. So that's why we're doing that. I know some recipes have you just add it, and that's actually what I used to do if you go way back on YouTube, is like adding the gelatin directly into the mixture and then not like having it develop and then dissolving it or melting it. But that makes it lumpy, and so this is a good way to prevent that. So good, so now we have the red and the white done, and so what we have now here is a 9 by 9 inch square baking pan, and I'm going to spray this with cooking spray, and this just means that it's gonna make it easier to remove afterwards. There we go. And then we're gonna pour in about 1/3 of the condensed milk mixture. And you can just do it by eye, it's not the end of the world because the layers are slightly uneven. About 1/3? I think so, okay. And then we're gonna pop this in the fridge for about 15 minutes or until it's fully set. You can do the freezer, but the thing is, if you pop this in the freezer and you wait too long, the surface of the jelly can start to freeze and it gets like crystally and everything. And when that happens, if you pour another layer on top of that, there's gonna be like this little layer of ice, and then the layers won't stick together and they'll be separate. So when you slice it, it's just gonna be a mess. So that's why I recommend using the fridge. It does take a little bit longer, but I do think it's worth it in this case. So let's pop this in the fridge, and I'll be back. I'll be back when it's set. Okay, so now the surface of the white is hard, or it's firm. So now we're going to pour 1/3 of the red mixture gently on top. Alright, then we're going to turn this to the fridge until it's fully set for another 15 minutes. And then you want to repeat that, like alternating the different colors until you finish with a red layer on top. And then you want to leave it in the fridge overnight for it to fully set, because you just want to make sure that all the layers are nice and firm and one isn't like softer than the other, and they're not going to like collapse when you slice them. So I'll see you guys tomorrow when these are done. Okay, so the Jello has been sitting in the fridge, and it seems at least mostly set. And I'm wearing my most Canadian color I have, literally like one of the only red things I have. And I know it's summer and I'm wearing a sweater, but bear with me. I want to be on brand in this video. So we are just gently peeling back the edges of the Jello with our fingers, and you can see that it's nice and stuck together, all the layers. Alright, so this is always the most terrifying part, but so is that. But it should work. Who knows? Come on! Oh my god, like a container. Oh my god, okay. And so since the container I use has rounded edges, I'm going to slice those off. Obviously they're completely edible. It's purely an aesthetic thing, so you don't need to, but I'm going to. And like obviously they're still edible. You guys, look at that. Isn't that so cool? Okay, so now we are cutting it into cubes. If you have a maple leaf cookie cutter, you could also do that. And you could have little like maple leaf shape ones. I think that would be so cute. I was actually initially going to do that, and then I decided to do what I'm going to do in this video, but just because I think it photographs better, but totally up to you. And using a larger knife is probably a good idea. This is the only one that I have clean, so that's why I'm using the steak knife, but using a larger knife is going to give you much cleaner cuts into your jelly. Yeah. So satisfying. Okay, so this is what they look like. They look all striped and pretty. How cute are these? And so now I'm going to decorate them because I want them to look extra cute. Totally optional. Anyways, I'm gonna add a dollop of whipped cream on top of each little Jello. Now I'm gonna sprinkle some sprinkles on top. we are done. Like, oh my god, how Canadian do these look, you guys? Oh my gosh. I love them so much. They are even better than I pictured. Okay, and we are done. So I am going to taste one now. Cute, these are so wiggly. Okay. They taste very fruity and tropical, and actually the Malibu in it, it's really, really nice with the creaminess of like the condensed milk and the strawberry Jello. So it just tastes kind of like tropical punch, and doesn't scream Malibu if you guys don't like Malibu. I feel like it has a bad rap. I don't know why. Bad rap? Anyways, I hope you guys like this video. If you haven't yet, please hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you get notified when my next video goes up, because I upload 5 days a week from Monday to Friday. Next week I have some more 4th of July recipes coming for you if you are American. We have 4th of July pancakes coming out on Monday, and I have a giant Rice Krispie burger that I'm making on July 4th. If you want to tune in and watch me make a giant burger, I'm so excited. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I love you so much, and I'll see you later. Oh, and happy Canada Day and happy 4th of July. I guess it's a bit early, but whatever. To all of you guys who are celebrating. Bye!